Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you're all doing fine back at your home. Well, welcoming you all to the lesson of provision for doubtful debts. As we all know that provision as far as the matching and the prudence concepts of accountancy are concerned is a very important topic, imperative for the preparation of our Cambridge International Examinations. As a part of adjustment, it is tested on various stages of your examinations. Now, as far as the treatment of provision for doubtful debts is concerned, we learned about the double entries and the journal entries that are used to treat the provision for doubtful debts. But what are those circumstances where the provision may arise? So, starting with the circumstances, two separate methods we use provision for doubtful debts for treatment and for passing its journal entries. We have a little separate treatment in the first year of trading. What do we mean by the first year of trading? That the business has just yet started.
Hello.
Following years of trading, what happens is that we have a little separate treatment as compared to the first year of trading. The following years can be year 2, it can be year 3, year 4, year 5, and whatsoever. Okay. Now, as far as the following years are concerned, there are basically two types of cases that can erupt in the following years. Like, except for the first year of trading, in the following years, there are two scenarios where it can arise. One is where provision might increase, and the other one is where provision might decrease. Provision might increase and the provision might decrease. These are two various circumstances that can basically take place wherever we have to encounter the questions of provision in the following years. Let me tell you one thing for sure. This scenario is very important, and it is mostly tested in your Cambridge examinations. But obviously, we need a full-fledged concept of the treatment of provision for doubtful debts. For that purpose, we will start from the first year of trading. And for that particular reason, I have an example question, a practice question that you can all find in your chat box. Please open up the question. It would have a heading named as practice questions with today's date, that is 2nd of September. So what I'm going to do, that whenever it is a first year of trading, how do we solve down an example of a provision for doubtful debts? Let's have a look on it. The question says, I hope you all have that document in front of you. Mappls Limited started trading on 1st of January 2015. The following shows some information related to its trade receivables. We have some information given in the little table below regarding the trade receivables. Okay, what is that information about? Trade receivables for the year ended 31st December 2015. That is 35,000. The sign of the currency is missing. It is actually the dollars. $35,000 is the total figure of your trade receivables. At second place, you have bad debts to be written off. There is a bad debt named Aslam, which is to be written off. It has not yet been written off, right? That is worth $1,400. Provision for doubtful debts on remaining receivables. The remaining receivables are also known as net receivables, 2% required. Prepare the bad debts account after passing its journal entry. Simple as it could be. If we could all remember, the entry that we used to pass for the bad debts was bad debts account as an expense debit with 1400 the amount. And who's the receivable? The receivable is Aslam. So Aslam's account credit 1400. What if we prepare a bad debt account? It's going to be something like this. Bad debts and debit 1400 because of Aslam. That is the CD balance as well, with this figure directly transferred to the income statement as an expense. I hope it's clear to everyone. This is the preparation of the bad debts account. Okay. What is the second part? The second part says, calculate the provision for doubtful debts ledger for the year ending 31st December 2015. It's actually trying to say that first calculate the provision for doubtful debts for this year and prepare its ledger as well, balance the account and bring down the balance as at 1st January 2016. That means we need to calculate the provision as at 31st December 2015, which is the closing date of this period. Remember one thing, provision and all other balances are always calculated and maintained at the closing date of the financial year. The financial year here started at 1st January 2015. It is ending up at 31st December 2015. So obviously, if we are talking about a date 1st January 2016, it is very similar to 31st December 2015. I hope it's clear to everyone. Well, as far as the calculation of provision is concerned, we first need to calculate our net receivables. And how do we get them? We get them by deducting the bad debts from our trade receivables. 35,000 are our bad debts and 1,400 were the bad debts, 35,000 being the trade receivables. 33,600 is our figure for our net receivables. Now the policy of the company says that provision for doubtful debts on remaining receivables is going to be 2%. I told you all, provision is always charged as a percentage, and the percentage is given over here in the question, that is 2%. What if we imply this 2% over here? The answer would be, you can also make some calculations. Give me a second so that I may make the calculation as well. It is 672. The amount for provision for doubtful debts is 672. Now, as I told you, this is year one. This is the first year of trading. Why so? It is written in the question on the top. Mappls Limited started trading on 1st January 2015. That means this is the first year. Now, in the first year, what are we going to do? Full amount of provision is going to be charged, right? Very right. And what was the double entry for provision? It was, just remember this rule, everyone. Full amount of provision is going to be charged. That's for year one. That means the first year of trading. The double entry would be income statement account debit as an expense 672, whereas provision for doubtful debts account credit 672. This is how the double entry for provision looks like. Now, lastly, what do we have to do? We have to prepare a T account for provision for doubtful debts. Okay. Remember one thing, this is year one. So that is why we don't have any brought down balance for it. Provision is basically a liability. Liabilities always have balances. But over here, just because it is the first year, it is the first year of trading, that is why we don't have any balance for provision for doubtful debts. Provision, it is being credited 672, so we will credit provision 672 because of income statement, and the CD balance would also be 672. So the drawdown on 1st January, Jan 2016 would be 672. This is how we prepare a T account for provision for doubtful debts. Now, this is what is actually examined in your specific provision for doubtful debts question. But there are a little more parts pertinent to this treatment as well. What are those? Those are very simple. I'll draw them up over here. In fact, write them down over here. The examiner sometimes asks you for extracts of financial statements. That means वो आपसे ये पूछ रहा है कि ये जो आपने adjustments किए हैं, the procedures that you have followed over here, where will these be placed in the income statement? Okay, first of all, in the income statement, extract is basically a small part of the full-fledged income statement. What do we do over here? We record expenses. Okay. Under the heading of those expenses, we will first write down the bad debts. Those bad debts were worth 1,400, and provision for doubtful debts, and the provision that was charged this year was 672. This is how these adjustments would be recorded in the income statement. Now, what about the statement of financial position? In the statement of financial position, again, we have something like this, 2 columns, okay? We record current assets over here. Under the current assets, we record trade receivables. That's how it looks like in a normal statement of financial position. What are we going to do over here? The total amount of the trade receivables, out of it, we deduct our bad debts. We write down the figure of net receivables, that is 33,600. And out of this amount, what will we do? We will deduct the provision for doubtful debts of this year. And the provision for doubtful debts of this year was 672. So the balance that is left over, and that is to be taken along as the figure of trade receivables, would be 32,000. In fact, it's going to be 31,928 dollars. This is the final figure of your trade receivables. So you can see that the maintenance of provision for doubtful debts basically reduces the level of your trade receivables. Bad debts, they tend to reduce your level of trade receivables. This is how a full-fledged provision for doubtful debts is maintained in the first year of trading. I hope it's clear to everyone. In case you have any questions, I'll be taking your queries in next 5 minutes. Thank you very much till then.